There's no doubt in your mind it's illegal.
No doubt in my mind.
Illegal activities have businesses cheating taxpayers in Louisiana out of hundreds of millions of dollars. To help tell this story,
why don't we draw a picture?
This picture has to include a dollar sign.
No, lots of dollar signs.
We also need to draw a construction worker, maybe a carpenter or a painter.
These pictures will show you how companies are cheating you out of millions of tax dollars.
The cheating could eventually send that carpenter or painter's boss to prison.
I haven't heard of a major prosecution. I haven't heard about it in the state of Louisiana.
Costly violations the state has ignored for years.
It's not a secret. So somebody has made a decision, for good or bad, not to enforce these extensively.
Let's draw this picture as an example. A school built by a contractor. The contractor hires subcontractors to build that school. The subs hire those carpenters and painters. Our investigation has found many of these subcontractors are labeling those workers as independent contractors instead of employees.
It's payroll fraud.
It's payroll fraud, clearly. I mean, and it's payroll fraud as a business plan.
The business model is called misclassification of employees. And the reason for all of those dollar signs, according to our research in Louisiana, it costs taxpayers annually at least $250 million.
You think 200 or so million could be a conservative estimate?
Oh, yeah.
Here's why it costs you money. If an employee considers that carpenter or painter an independent contractor, they're not deducting state and federal taxes, Medicare and Social Security, and unemployment taxes. In many cases, money meant for the state and federal government never being paid.
Payroll fraud, misclassification is pretty much the business plan on every job site in the state of Louisiana.
Jason Engels of the state's Carpenters Union says it's a business plan because the businesses rarely get caught, and breaking the law gives them a 30% savings.
Calling somebody an employee almost invariably makes them more expensive to the employer.
Let's get back to our picture. Louisiana has strict guidelines on who can be considered an independent contractor. State law says an independent contractor has to be free from control.
Is the worker economically dependent on the employer, or is the worker working for themselves?
The worker has to perform a service the company normally doesn't provide.
And it's something different than what is the essence of the entity's business.
And the worker has to be engaged in an independent business or profession.
If one of these is not true, then you're an employee.
Fox 8 News spent 6 months reviewing hundreds of thousands of pages of records, inspecting documents from 30 different public entities. What we found, misclassification of employees, is widespread. For many public construction projects, contractors have to file certified payroll records, reports that show how much they're paying employees. When we reviewed those records, we found more than 1,500 employees, possibly misclassified. This is someone being classified properly as an employee. The payroll record shows taxes being taken out. This is someone possibly being misclassified. The gross and net pay are the same. And in some cases, the contractor admits it. He's giving workers a 1099 form, an IRS form, for independent contractors.
Did you get a 1099?
Yeah.
We went around to several construction sites and found workers on the job receiving those 1099 forms, being labeled as independent contractors.
Do they give you a 1099 form?
Yeah.
They do? They give you a 1099 form?
Yeah.
Have you been on jobs where they don't take taxes out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Does that happen a lot?
La mayoría, todo Luisiana está trabajando así ahora.
Almost everywhere in Louisiana.
By labeling someone an independent contractor, it's up to the employee to pay taxes. According to the IRS, nationally, 56% don't fully report.
Do you know people who don't pay their taxes?
Yo sé.
Yes, people.
Do you know people who don't pay their taxes?
Sí. Miles.
Thousands, thousands.
Thousands.
I don't think this is an illegal immigration problem. I think this is an illegal business practice or an illegal business problem.
Adam Bermudez owns a temporary staffing company. Until a few years ago, he provided workers to the construction industry.
What happened was we became non-competitive in that industry. They basically, our costs were about 30% higher than those other companies. So we basically got out of the business.
You couldn't compete.
Couldn't compete, correct.
Bermudez says he followed the rules, paid taxes, Medicare, Social Security, everything required. Many of his competitors didn't.
It creates an uneven playing field for us, but there's just so much money being lost to the state. We're having budget crisis, and I think there's pretty easy money out there for them to go get.
I mean, there's been a lot of missed money for this state, don't you think?
I would imagine so.
The Louisiana Workforce Commission helps investigate misclassification.
We need them to know that we're watching.
After years of little enforcement, the state says they want to crack down. Last year, they identified 12,000 misclassified workers. They couldn't tell us how many came from the construction industry. Many insiders in the industry say they haven't seen any change. In fact, many say the problem now is worse than ever. The state says they want our industry insiders' help. One of the main ways they catch offenders, tips by employees being misclassified or employers who follow the law.
I want them to call us up or to send a report in or to email us or go to our website.
He's not going to be back today? What time does he usually get in?
Tracking down possible lawbreakers can be difficult. CMC Drywall works out of the back of this Kenner Insurance business. That drywall company helped build the University Medical Center, B.W. Cooper Housing Development, New Orleans East Hospital, Sanchez and Rosenwald Center. We found 146 CMC workers possibly being misclassified. On 3 different visits, the owner wasn't there. He never returned our call.
We're doing a story on misclassification of workers and wanted to get an interview with someone with Hahn about how it appears some of the workers may have been misclassified as independent contractors instead of employees.
Well, I guess you can call for an appointment. That would be great.
Other companies dodged our questions.
Who do I call?
Tanya Hahn.
Tanya Hahn? Okay, where is she right now?
You're speaking to her.
Okay, well, can we get an interview instead of
Not
calling
right
for an
now, no.
appointment?
Go ahead and call me for an interview. That would be great.
That phone call?
Hey, this is Lee Zurich over at Channel 8. We met earlier today.
Never got returned.
The owner's not here.
Another company seemed to be agreeable to answering questions.
Okay, when will she be back?
I'm not sure, but I can give you her number.
We called the number.
The number you dialed has been changed, disconnected, or is no longer in service.
She gave me a bad number.
A Baton Rouge contractor seemed unaware of the law.
I don't know. All I did was construction work. I don't know all the ins and outs of all that. That's why I hired an accountant.
The big contractors we looked at follow the law, but when they hire subs, it's some of those businesses that commit this fraud.
Do general contractors know what's going on?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's this plausible deniability. I mean, I think everybody turns a blind eye to what's happening.
Louisiana is not unique. Misclassification takes place around the country, like in North Carolina. This document shows misclassification in Charlotte. In Mississippi, a company actually filed suit to prevent us from getting records.
I am imagining that the classification is not unintentional, that it's done for the purpose of avoiding taxation.
So when we draw a larger picture and include the entire country, it becomes $1 billion problem. It's not a simple plan, but the picture is pretty clear. A blueprint worth billions of dollars for businesses to break the law.